Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. I hope you're doing so very well. Today I'm bringing you my 2023 self-destruct. So in this video I will be going through my 2022 self-destruct and making a new list for 2023. Jumping in to my 2022 list, the first book is Heartstream. I believe this is by Tom Pollock. I read this, I enjoyed it enough. It was a 3-star read. It was fine. I kind of relate it to like a Black Mirror episode because in this, Heartstream is an app where people can feel your feelings, and this girl kind of takes advantage of the sadness in her life to gain views, and it's like an addictive thing. I just wish the Heartstream app was used more in this story. I feel like if it was more centered around the app, it would have been more enjoyable for me. It had good bones, it just didn't wow me, which is unfortunate, but I read it, I gave it 3 stars, I unhauled it. Next we have We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I was scared of this one because there was so much hype surrounding it. I didn't know how I was going to feel. It was a 3-star. It was the middle of the road again. I feel like the hype made this a letdown in a way. Like the hype ruined this book for me. I think if I went in not knowing there was going to be a twist, not knowing that everyone thought it was like one of the biggest reveals they've ever read, then I would have liked this book more. But because of the hype and because I was expecting something big to happen at the end, it made my enjoyment a lot less. So I gave this 3-star. Again, I unhauled it, so that's fine. At least I read it, at least I read it. Next, on a happier note, we have It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Again, similar to We Were Liars, I went in with a lot of hype playing in the back of my head, but this is where they differ. This was worth the hype for me. I gave this 5-star. It was my favourite read of 2022. I had a good time with it. I will say that this should not be marketed as romance. It should be marketed as lit fic, but apart from that, I really had a good time. I really did enjoy this. This follows Lily, who is making her life as a flower bouquet person. I don't know what that was. She wants to own a florist, and she does that, and she thinks her life is on the right track when she meets Ryo and gets in a relationship with him, a doctor boyfriend, a growing business. What could go wrong? But yeah, again, though, I read it, I gave it 5 stars, and I will be keeping this one. And the last 2 books I did not read. So we have Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. If you have not watched, I done an unhaul not that long ago. I unhauled the whole Dark Artifices series trilogy because I've tried to read this book multiple times and not gotten further than 100 pages. So I've just marked it as it's not for me. I've enjoyed the Shadowhunter world. I've read the Mortal Instruments. The Infernal Devices is my favourite, and I will be continuing in the Last Hours trilogy. I just unhauled the whole trilogy. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It gave me a lot of space on my shelves though, so now that's where my Paul Tremblay collection sits, so I'm happy with that. And the final book we have is This Golden Flame. Now, I believe technically I still have a couple of weeks to read this book because technically my self-destruct doesn't run out until the date of my last video, which will be on screen. So I think I may have time to read this, but I'm just going to count it as an unhaul in this video because I don't think I'm going to pick it up. I don't think I'm going to read it by the date that's on screen, so I may as well just unhaul it. It's fine. This is the point of this game. If I haven't picked it up in the year, then I'm obviously not interested enough to do so. So that's it. That is the 5 books I picked for 2022. I managed to get to 3 of them, loved 1 of them, unhauled 4 of them. That seems like good results. Could have been worse, could have been better. Nevertheless, let's get into my 2023 list, and hopefully these will garner better results than my 2022. First, we have here Devil House by John Darnell. This is on my list because I was so hyped for this when it came out. I actually went in to the shop in person and bought this because I was so excited, and I didn't read it. So it has to be read this year because I did not make that journey out into the world to get this book for no dang reason. In this, we follow Cage Chandler, and he is a crime writer. He goes to the house which is dubbed the Devil House because a pair of murders occurred there in the 1980s, I believe, and he has to puzzle out and work out what happened there and the truth lying in the bones of this house. So this sounds good. Haunted house kind of story. A true crime writer writing about a crime that happened in a house that's now haunted, I believe. Sounds amazing. I want to read it so bad, and putting it on this list means that I will remember to prioritize it and get this done. Next is a really scary one, because not only will I have to read The Toll by Neil Shusterman, I will have to go back and read Scythe and Thunderhead again, because I gave both Scythe and Thunderhead 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I do want to finish this trilogy. But it's been so long since I read the original 2 books that I would need to go back and read them again in order to finish off this trilogy. I do know there's an extra book, The Gleanings, that came out this year. I don't know if that's short stories or a continuation, but my thought process is having this on my self-destruct means I need to read Scythe and Thunderhead, and it will also mean that if I read this, I can continue on with The Gleaning. So this is big. This is big, having this on this video, and I'm maybe shooting myself in the foot here, but I'm gonna go with it because I do want to finish out this trilogy, and I want to make it a priority this year that I finish out. I always have the priority of finishing out series that I've started, but this year I want to make a priority of finishing out series that I've loved and now need to finish, and this is one of them. Next, we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. The reason this is on the list is because I really want to read Emily Henry's work, and she has a book, Happy Places, coming out in 2023. So I don't want to put that on my most anticipated, buy it, and then it sit on my shelf like this one done in 2022. So if I read this one, I am then allowed to pick up Happy Places in 2023. So this is kind of like a double meaning because it's on my self-destruct, so I will be reading it this year, hopefully. But it's also, I need to read this one before I pick up the new release by this author. Also, everyone raves about Emily Henry, and I need to know why. Similar to the Emily Henry book I just had, this is He Started It by Samantha Downing. This is on this list because I read My Lovely Wife by this author, loved it, and really want to continue more from this author. But this author has a book coming out in 2023, but I'm not allowed to pick up until I read this one because I own this one and I should have read this one. So again, this is on my list because I want to get to this in 2023, but I also am not allowed to pick up this author's 2023 release until I read this one. If that will happen, I don't know, but the best intentions. And lastly, the final book on my self-destruct for 2023 is Cemetery Boys by Adrian Thomas. I bought this when it first came out, thought I was going to read it, didn't read it. I then seen the Sunbearer trials, thought it looked amazing, requested an arc, still haven't read it. And I also feel like I don't really want to read an arc of a new book by this author until I have read the book that I already own physically. So again, in similar tones, I don't know why I've managed to make this all about 2023 releases, considering this is a self-destruct, but if I can read this, then I can move on to the arc that I have of the Sunbearer trials, and hopefully I will read this and love this. This sounds amazing. And yeah, like, I am hoping that putting all of these books on my list will make me prioritize them before prioritizing new releases, because I have a habit of buying new releases when I have backlist books by authors that I should be reading instead. That is all I have for you today. I hope you found this interesting, and I hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend whenever you're watching this. Remember to stay safe, happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.